This is Letter to Sons. I'm Doug Keating. My wife Kim and I recently spent a week in Italy. During that trip, we spent time in Rome, Florence, and Milan. We loved all three cities. Today, I'm going to share 5 reasons I love visiting Florence. This is another special video. It'll include footage I shot while in Florence and Tuscany. And if you stay to the end, you'll get to hear some best practices and lessons learned. A little context about our time in Florence. We spent 3 days there. While in Florence, we went on multiple tours. We went on a food tour, which was simply amazing. We explored the city and then got out into the Tuscan countryside for Thanksgiving Day. Now we're gonna move to the live footage. If the quality sucks, you can blame me. It's just me, my iPhone, and a selfie stick. Reason number 1 for why I like visiting Florence, history. We're talking history, the Renaissance. It's kind of born here and definitely thrived in this city. I'm actually in the Palazzo Vecchio. Look at this place. I mean, this is where the seat of power was. Kim and I just went up the tower to get great views of the city. If you are a history fan like me and you like Renaissance history specifically, you definitely need to come to Florence. Reason number 2 for why I love visiting Florence, the Duomo. I'm standing on top of the tower at Palazzo Vecchio, looking out of the Duomo. This thing is unbelievable. The largest church in Europe when it was built. It's now the 4th largest. And the most miraculous thing is definitely the special dome that was built to cover it. If you come to Florence, you need to spend some time taking in this masterpiece. Reason number 3 for why I love Florence, the sights. There is so much to see and do. We're up on a hill overlooking the city. You can see Ponte Vecchio. I'm just going to scan. You can see the skyline. There's the palace we were in earlier. There's the Duomo. You've got the church St. Croce coming up as well. And you got Tuscany in the background. I mean, who doesn't want to come visit this beautiful capital city of Tuscany? Reason number 4 for why I love visiting Florence, the art. This city is ridiculous when it comes to art. I am in the Piazza Signora, and I mean, look behind me, there are statues everywhere. I'm gonna rotate around, and then you take a look at, oh, there's where the David used to be, right there. And then you see the Neptune statue in the distance. If you love art, you surely need to get to Florence. No better city for Renaissance art than Florence. Reason number 5, food and wine. Italy is known for its world-class food. I mean, who doesn't love Italian food? We've been eating to our heart's content this entire trip. And you need to pair it with the proper wine. Kim and I are on a day trip all over Tuscany. We just finished our Thanksgiving meal, so good, and sampled a bunch of wines. I'm standing in the vault, so to speak, of the winery. And man, if you love food and wine, you definitely need to go to Italy, and Tuscany is one of the best regions for sure. Bonus reason for why I love visiting Florence is the Tuscan countryside, as well as other cities that are not far away. In this case, in Siena, we took a day trip about an hour away in the square where the famous horse race, the Palo, takes place. And this place so far is just amazing. So if you come to Florence, be sure to get out in the Tuscan countryside and enjoy some other locations across this beautiful part of Italy. It's hard to think of one thing I do not like about Tuscany. Here's a warning though, if you come here, you are gonna go up some stairs. We are in a hill town. We walked up a hill to up a hill to up a hill, and now we had to go up those stairs to see a viewpoint. Be in shape before you get here. Very few elevators and lots of stairs, but man, every step's worth it. Let's move to lightning round with 3 of my favorite things about Florence, Italy. Number 1, my favorite site. Palazzo Vecchio. This is where the Medicis hung out and ruled the city. There's a lot to see in, and I definitely recommend climbing the stairs to get great views of the Duomo from the tower here. Number 2, where to see the sunset. Lots of choices. I think Piazza Michelangelo is the best location. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people up there with you. Don't worry about it. You'll still get great photos, and it's quite fun to hang out with folks and just watch a magnificent sunset over this beautiful city. And number 3, gelato. Oh my, Florence is known for it. We ate so much good gelato while there. The best was in San Gimignano. It was unbelievably good. We have a saying in our family, you can't say no to the gelato. That was certainly true in Florence and Tuscany. Let's wrap this video with some best practices and lessons learned based on our time spent in Florence. The key takeaway, Florence is fantastic. It is my favorite city in all of Italy. If you're in Italy, I would do all you can to spend some time in Florence. It's popular for a reason. It's awesome. Some best practices. I would stay in the old part city center. Florence is not very large. It is totally walkable. Plant yourself there and enjoy this wonderful city. Number 2, food. So many good choices, especially for dinner. Once again, I would make reservations for dinner. For lunch, just pick whatever comes to mind. And last best practice, if you're there more than a few days, I would get out into the countryside. Tuscany will not disappoint you. You know, there's some places you see on Instagram, and then when you go there, you're like, yeah, this is not really what I thought it would be. Not so with Tuscany. It is magical. Lessons learned, the key takeaway, there's a lot to see and do in Florence, even though it's not very large. You may have to pick and choose what you see depending on how long you are there. For example, Kim and I skipped the Uffizi because we didn't want to spend too much time in art museums while we were in Florence. I would definitely visit both sides of the river. Some of the best food in Florence is across the Ponte Vecchio on the other side of the Arno. Next, bring some comfortable shoes, plan to climb some stairs and go up some hills to get beautiful views. And don't forget, some Italian hotels don't have an elevator, and the ones that do, they're tiny. You and your luggage probably not gonna fit. And last, I would consider renting a car if you're gonna explore the Tuscan countryside. The other alternatives, do what we do, sign up for a tour to have someone else drive you around. I just think if public transportation is not likely to get you where you wanna go when visiting the Tuscan countryside. Bottom line, Florence is fantastic. Go there if you can and experience La Dolce Vita.